personal with Robin Leach.
Hey hip-hop enthusiasts, we see you. The 90s had the best hip-hop stars. But what are the rap gods up to today? Dr. Dre. How can anyone not love this man? Eminem admired this guy so much that he changed Simon Says to Dr. Dre Said.
He didn't just say what I think he did he? And Dr. Dre said, nothing, you idiots, Dr. Dre's dead, he's locked him up.
Originally named Andre Romel Young, Dr. Dre is a legendary figure in hip-hop.
Straight off them killer streets of CPT. King up the beach, you ride to him in your fleet.
And is renowned for his roles as a rapper, record producer, businessperson, and philanthropist. Beginning his career in the mid-80s with world-class Wrecking Crew, and later joining NWA, he quickly rose to immense fame. After NWA disbanded Dr. Dre in 1991, he took matters into his own hands and became a big shot producer, making Snoop Dogg, Eminem, and 50 Cent the huge stars they are today. But he didn't stop there. In 2008, he partnered with Monster Audio to launch his own brand of headphones famously known as Beats. You might think the guy would slow down now at least, but no. Apple swoops in and drops $2.6 billion on the table for Beats Electronic. Just when we thought, okay, he's a billionaire now, he's gonna take it easy for sure. He dropped his album Crumpton in 2015, which was his first in 16 years. Unfortunately, in 2021, he suffered from a brain aneurysm. But the legend went strong and recovered from the incident completely, and even performed at the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show.
Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West.
The NWA had regrets their choice of disbanding him. Which brings us to our next star, who is also a founding member of NWA. Ice Cube. Born O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube catapulted to fame as an unstoppable force in West Coast hip-hop.
Like stars might hit the highway on the Vegas run.
Well known for his raw and socially impactful lyrics, he was the first member to leave the hip-hop gang. Ice Cube embarked on a solo career, unleashing iconic albums like America KKK's Most Wanted. His socio-political commentary earned him a reputation as a revolutionary, but he wanted more. Ice Cube also took on acting and aced every role he was given.
We got a problem here? We got a problem, nigga?
Some of his infamous movies include Boys in the Hood and Friday. Ice Cube was spitting rhymes and stealing scenes like it's nobody's business. The guy was clearly too talented. In 2020, Ice Cube assembled the Avengers Hip Hop, Snoop Dogg, E40, and Too Short and formed the supergroup MT Westmore.
Sit up, fucking with Jack Tripper, who ain't looking for a zipper, who ain't looking for a stripper, nigga.
They dropped their first album on June the 7th, 2022, probably causing earthquakes with the bass. He still performs all over the world and has upcoming movies like Killer's Game opposite Dave Bautista. Ice Cube isn't just a rapper and an actor, he's a business maestro as well. He's the brain behind the Big Three, a pro 3-on-3 basketball league where retired NBA players showcase their skills. We need to be thankful he hasn't taken over the world by now. But how can we talk about Dr. Dre and Ice Cube and not mention the third musketeer, Eazy-E? Who would have imagined that a high school dropout involved in drug dealing would launch Priority Records, the label behind NWA's debut album? Eric Wright changed his name as well as his life forever. He rose to fame along with his colleagues, and a solo debut, Easy Does It, which further solidified his place in the hip-hop world. But following the departure of Ice Cube and Dr. Dre from the group, Eazy-E had a short stint in the music industry. Meanwhile, he's spreading his charm and becomes the father of a whole basketball team. 7 kids in total, with 6 different ladies. In a tragic turn of events, Eazy-E entered a hospital in 1995 for what seemed like asthma. But in a complete shock of events, 11 days later, it was confirmed that the rapper had passed away due to complications related to AIDS. Next up is the Notorious BIG. Man, this guy didn't just climb from Brooklyn's mean streets. He practically took a hip-hop bullet train to stardom.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine.
Biggie's first album was a game changer in the New York hip-hop scene, instantly signaling that he was destined for greatness. The rhymes he came up with were sharper than a knife and dropped bangers like Ready to Die and 94. His larger-than-life confidence and talent made him the heavyweight champ of rap in the 90s. Unfortunately, the world wasn't blessed to see more of this legend's work. He lost his life on March 9th, 1997, in a drive-by shooting after leaving a Los Angeles party. Till date, his death is surrounded by a lot of conspiracy and speculation, with no one really knowing who and why he was killed. He only put out 2 albums before his death, but he only needed to. Destiny had different plans for Notorious B.I.G. But the fate of our next star? It was written. Yes, we are talking about the one and only Nas. He ascended to hip-hop royalty through a remarkable rise to fame. Nas burst onto the scene in the early 90s with his debut album, Illmatic. An instant classic that had everyone going crazy. His albums that followed, including It Was Written and Stillmatic, further solidified his status as the rap king in the 90s.
Strapped with a couple of too many. If that people really with me, get busy, load up the do more than just hold it.
But his stake of great work ended right there. The bar for him was set high, and he did miss the mark a few times. This increased heat on the rapper also led to his subsequent works facing unjust scrutiny. His introduction to the beats only got him more criticism for his questionable choices, earning him the not-so-flattering title of the worst beat picker in hip-hop. No one saw that coming. But the Rap King did not give up. Nas turned the game around by teaming up with Hit Boy for their debut King's Disease. This collaboration revived Nas, regaining his legendary status in the rap game. Nas has been on the ultimate 5-album comeback streak since 2020, reaching its peak with his recently released Magic 2. This run stands out as the most significant comeback in rap history, surpassing other MCs who have endured the test of time. Topping our list, we have the infamous JayZ. Popularly known as Beyoncé's husband, JayZ is one of the GOATs of hip-hop. Hailing from Brooklyn's often dangerous Marcy Project, Sean Corey Carter's involvement in illicit drug dealing became a significant influence on his lyrics when he transitioned to rapping.
I get more in depth if you boys really real enough. This is La Familia, I'll explain later.
He adopted the stage name Jazzy, which he later shot into JayZ. He rose to fame in the late 80s, but it was his debut album in 1996 that marked his status. In 1995, JayZ, along with Dame Dash and Kareem Biggs Burke, established Rockefeller Records. Over the span of a few years, the rapper launched numerous chart-topping albums and hit singles. Some of his standout tracks of this era include Can I Get A?
Yo, can I get a what? These chickens from all up.
Big Pimpin',
Big pimpin', baby.
I Just Wanna Love You,
You know I love it.
Izzo, H-O-V-A,
H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy.
and 03 Bonnie and Clyde.
03 Bonnie and Clyde, Hove and B.
A collaboration with his future wife, Beyoncé Knowles. In 2003, JayZ informed the world that he was retiring due to a lack of competition. The game ain't hot, he said. I love when someone makes a hot album, and then you've got to make a hot album. I love that, but it ain't hot. I mean, who can compete with someone who bagged the Beyoncé? After retiring, he shifted his concentration to the business side of music by becoming the president of Def Jam Recordings. As the president, JayZ signed big names like Rihanna, Neo, and Young Jeezy. He played a crucial role in Kanye West's shift from producer to a best-selling recording artist. The GOAT is now a billionaire, has his life sorted with new music coming, and is active on social media again.